Welcome! This summary is from English Coach Academy, and it's designed just for you. So, let's start with a question for you. What was an important day in your life?
ما هو أهم يوم في حياتك؟ فكر في يوم مميز.
Being able to share a memory like that, that's a really powerful skill, and that's exactly what we're going to learn today, how to talk about the past. Okay, let's dive in. Every single person, every one of us, has stories to tell, lots of them, right? So today we're going to learn the skills you need to share those stories in English. One of the best ways to learn anything is to see examples. So that's what we're going to do. Let's read 3 short stories from 3 different people. And as we read, really listen to how they talk about their special days. Okay, first up is Zaina's story. It's about a really special trip. She says, "A day to remember. I live in Colorado in the middle of the USA. Last year, I visited the ocean for the first time in my life. It was amazing. My friends weren't with me, but I stayed on the beach for hours. It was a perfect day." Did you hear that word she used? Amazing. She said her day was amazing. كلمة amazing تعني شيء رائع جدا جدا. So it means something is very, very good. All right, now let's look at a very different kind of day. This is Malik's story. He says, "My first driving lesson wasn't fun. It was horrible. I ran a red light and hit another car. It was a dangerous situation, but nobody was hurt. My driving instructor was really angry. That was my first and last lesson. I take the bus now." Wow, what a different story, right? He used the word horrible. Malik said his lesson was horrible. كلمة horrible هي عكس كلمة amazing. It means something is very, very bad. And now for our last story. This one is about a huge achievement. This is from Josh. He says, "My most amazing day was when I went to Dubai to run in the marathon. It was my first visit to Dubai, and it was my first marathon. My time was 4 hours and 57 minutes. I was so tired when I crossed the finish line. It was a very proud moment." And that's such an important feeling, isn't it? Proud. Josh felt proud. When you feel proud, you feel really happy and good about something you did, something you accomplished. بالعربي نقول فخور. It really is a wonderful feeling. So did you see that? Just one word, like amazing or horrible or proud, it completely changes the feeling of the story. So let's look at some more of these powerful words. We call them adjectives, and they're what help us really share our experiences. Okay, so we can put these words into 3 groups to make it easier. First, we have the positive words, for the good feelings. Words like amazing, fun, proud, cool, and perfect.
هذه كلمات إيجابية.
Then you've got your negative words for when things are not so good, like strange, horrible, dangerous, and angry.
وهذه كلمات سلبية.
And then there's a really interesting group. Some words can be positive or negative. It just depends on the story. Words like tired, loud, or crazy.
وهذه الكلمات يمكن أن تكون إيجابية أو سلبية حسب الموقف.
Now, to tell these stories, we need to use a specific grammar. It's called the simple past. And it's really, simple. We use it to talk about things that happened and are finished. They happened in the past.
نستخدم الماضي البسيط للتحدث عن أشياء حدثت وانتهت.
Just think about the stories we read. Zaina visited the ocean. It's finished. Malik hit another car. That's over. And Josh ran a marathon. All finished. That's why we use the simple past. Okay, so telling your story is half the fun, right? The other half is hearing someone else's story. And to do that, you need to ask good questions. So to practice, how about we play a little game, a guessing game? All right, here's how it works. I'm thinking of a famous person, and you have to guess who it is. You can ask me yes or no questions about their past. For example, you could ask a question like this. Was he born in 1954? And the answer to that question is, yes, he was. See how simple that answer is? We use these short answers all the time in real conversations. They're super useful. But a yes or no answer doesn't give you a lot of information, does it? So what if you want to know more? Well, that's when you ask a WH question. A question that starts with what, where, or, like this one, when. When did he die? See? This question asks for specific information. And the answer gives you exactly that. He died in 2011. It's that easy. So now you have 2 really great ways to ask questions about things that happened in the past. So, what kind of things do we usually talk about when we share stories from our past? A lot of the time, we talk about the big moments, the important milestones in our life's journey. So, let's learn the vocabulary for some of those big events. Let's think about the journey of life. For many people, it starts when you start school.
تبدأ الدراسة.
Then, after a lot of hard work, you graduate from college.
تتخرج من الجامعة.
What comes next? Well, usually you get a job.
تحصل على وظيفة.
And later on, maybe you get married. تتزوج. And then, after many years of working, you can finally retire.
تتقاعد.
All right, this next part is so important for having good conversations. Because it's not just about telling your own story. It's also about how you listen and how you react to other people's stories. Knowing what to say for good news and for bad news is how we really connect with people. So let's practice. If someone tells you some good news, you can say, congratulations. ردد congratulations. Or maybe, great job. Great job. Now, what about bad news? To show that you care, you can say, I'm so sorry. ردد I'm so sorry. Or for something really bad, you can say, that's terrible. That's terrible. Let's see how this works in a little conversation. Okay, I'll start with some good news. Hey, I passed my exam.
Congratulations, that's great news.
See? Just like that. A perfect, positive response. Okay, now let's try it with some bad news. This time, Mariam will start. Oh no, I failed my exam.
Oh, I'm so sorry. But never mind, you can always try again.
And that's it. Those simple words show you care, and they give a little bit of encouragement too. And that's it. You've now got the tools you need to share your stories. You have words for your feelings, you know how to use the simple past, you can ask good questions, and you know how to respond to other people.
الآن يمكنك أن تروي قصتك.
So, really, there's only one question left. What story are you gonna share?